Stephanie with Minimalist Mom Life. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am getting to 5 things to declutter in your kids' room first. So if you've been watching my channel for a little bit, you know this is a series I'm doing, and I have done 5 things in your living room, 5 things in your kitchen, and 5 things in your master bedroom. So now we're moving on to the kids' room, and I feel like a lot of people like to start with their kids' stuff first because it bothers them to clean it up, or maybe it's just easier because it's not their stuff. So it's always easier to get rid of somebody else's stuff. But I do suggest always that you start with other parts of your house first, and you're setting an example for your kids before you're going to try and declutter their stuff. So depending on the ages and personalities of your child, you're going to have them join with you on this, or you may not. Obviously, if I'm decluttering Lucy's clothes, she just turned 1, she's not really going to help me. But if I'm looking at Martin's clothes, who's 4 and who has an opinion and enjoys wearing certain things, then I'm going to have him join me. So for your family, you know whether or not you want your kids to join you on this. If you do, my number 1 tip would be to make it like you're shopping. So let's say we're decluttering clothes, because that's a big thing that takes up a lot of space in a kid's room. Maybe you have more dressers than you need. Maybe you don't even need a dresser if you minimize the kids' clothing. You've got a closet overflowing. Is take out all the clothes and then have your child select what they love best. So let's say we got out all of Martin's t-shirts and we said, okay, Martin, pick out 5 t-shirts that you love. And he went and got 5 t-shirts just like he was shopping at a store. We're going to keep those 5 and maybe we're going to part with the rest. Here are all your pajamas. Martin, pick out your 2 favorite pairs of pajamas. He picks those 2 out. We're going to part with the rest. And so on, as if you're shopping, that you're only keeping the things that you would want to buy again. So you're keeping the things that your kids love to wear and that you're not having to fight with them over wearing, the things that feel comfortable with them. None of my kids have sensory issues, but I know it's very common for kids to have issues with different textures or maybe the tags on clothes and stuff. So keep what they enjoy wearing and go through the clothes like that, okay? And then do that with the toys. For your number 2 thing to declutter toys, I know people always start with that, is give them a basket and say, okay, put all of your favorite things in this basket, and we're going to keep this basket of toys for sure, right? And so you'll know the size of basket you want in your home, and then let them go through, put all their toys out, and let them go through and put only in the basket what they absolutely love, and then you know what you can get rid of, what you can donate. If you're one of those people that does toy rotation, maybe you know what box, if you're going to give them another basket to fill up with their second favorite toys and then declutter. You can decide how much you want to keep, obviously. But the idea being that they're shopping what they already have and choosing their favorites, and anything that is not a favorite we can probably part with. My number 3 thing to declutter is decor in a kid's room. So I think it's pretty popular when you first have a baby that you decorate up a nursery and you make it all pretty and you have a theme. And then sometimes we kind of let that theme linger even if it's not really what that kid loves. Like maybe your little boy's not really into sailboats, or maybe your little girl doesn't want to be a ballerina and you have this big ballet theme from when they were a baby. Look around the room, and if the decor does not reflect the child, and if they don't really love that stuff, go ahead and take it down. That doesn't mean that you have to replace it with something new right away, but it can make the room feel much more airy and much more like it's a creative blank space for your child, other than one that you've decorated all Pottery Barn up and the child doesn't even care for. I would encourage parents to make the kids' room about the kids. So rather than having it all super fancy and stuff you have to spend a lot of time dusting and stuff you have to tell them not to break, maybe make it a very child-friendly area that really reflects who they are and not who you are. The rest of the house can reflect you, but maybe give them one room that really reflects them. And don't feel the pressure to decorate your kids' rooms. Their tastes are going to change, what they enjoy is going to change, and they're going to want an input and an opinion as they get older, and maybe that's the time to spend money then, rather than every couple of years doing a whole new big room redo. Just my opinion. Again, I talk a lot on this channel not only about minimalism and about debt-free living. I'm very passionate about being frugal and living within your means, so make sure that's within your means if you are going to change up that decor. But definitely declutter the decor. Look around, make sure it's things that your kids actually want up in their room. And the number 4 thing to declutter is bedding. And I talked about this in the master bedroom one too, but kids tend to have blankets they love. They can have lots of pillows and stuffed animals. Again, with this, keep the favorites and get rid of the rest. That way they can start learning to make their bed early because it's not difficult and there aren't a ton of blankets being thrown around. And then keep those blankets somewhere accessible for them, maybe in another basket if you want a couple for fort buildings, but they don't have to be ones that you're constantly refolding and putting back on the bed. So declutter the clothes, the toys, the decor, and the bedding. And then lastly, anything that doesn't actually belong in their room. I know a lot of people use their kids' closets as extra storage, but I would look to see if you really need the things that you're storing in your kids' closets, or if again you can give that space back to them and get rid of those things, because if it doesn't fit anywhere else in the house, I said this about the master bedroom, maybe it just doesn't fit into your life right now. And I talk a lot about living in the present, living in the home that you have, not the home that you might have one day. And if it doesn't fit in your home, and if you haven't been using it because it's in storage, you're not going to use it more just because you store it. So go through the stuff that is in your kids' room that maybe doesn't belong there anymore. Maybe it's stuff you're holding on for another baby. Maybe it's stuff that just you didn't know where else to put it, or so you put it in your kids' room, and make sure it's something that you really want before you start taking up any of their space. Another video coming up for you soon. I'm also doing a Q&A. I recently reached 2,000 subscribers, so thank y'all for joining me. And I wanted to kind of do another Q&A. So I posted over on my Instagram, and I've gotten several questions on there. But if you have questions for a Q&A for me, you can drop them in the comments down below, or head over to Instagram if you want to message me there. And I will talk to you in my next video. Have a wonderful weekend.